Brahma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashtatyadesha Karune
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Giri Varadhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Giri Varadhari Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So my manager has requested that I speak on Bhagavad Gita. Is this too loud? Okay. So one of my favorite verses is found in the 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge. Confidential knowledge we learned in chapter 2, when Krishna instructed Arjuna the difference between matter and spirit, the difference between the body and the soul, the difference between that which is temporarily existed and that which actually exists eternally. That's called confidential knowledge. More confidential knowledge, knowledge of supersoul. Because there are 3 features to the absolute truth. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan iti shabdyate. Brahman, that is confidential knowledge. Paramatma, supersoul, Krishna, more confidential knowledge. We heard on Janmashtami Day, I mentioned how Krishna is in everyone's heart, causing everyone to remember, to forget, and to know and understand. And we also learned that the Supersoul oversees, overlooks, witnesses, and sanctions. So that is explained, 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter. And then we come to the most confidential knowledge, Bhagavan. But as soon as we mention Bhagavan, Bhagavan is not alone. Bhagavan also includes the devotees. Prabhupada even insisted, every picture, Krishna not alone. There must be some devotee. That is not our conception, Krishna all alone. No, we don't want that Krishna. Here we see Krishna is with Radharani. In the spiritual abode, Krishna is always surrounded by so many loving devotees. One of the 4 distinct features of Krishna, separating him from Narayan, Shiva, Brahma, the living entities, he has those 4 unique qualities, one of which he's always surrounded by loving devotees who spontaneously love him. They don't have to be told or reminded. Spontaneous. So, Bhagavan, so the most confidential knowledge, Krishna and his devotional service. That is why we exist. We exist to render devotional service. So in the 2nd verse, we get a concise understanding of what is Bhagavad Gita. We should know, if you read Prabhupada's introduction, at the end of the introduction, Prabhupada puts in a Gita Mahatmyam. That Gita Mahatmyam is composed by Shankara Acharya, who is supposed to be an impersonal. But actually, Shankaracharya is in disguise, because he's actually the greatest devotee. Who? Who is the greatest devotee? Lord Shiva. Vaishnavanam yatha shambhu. And we just learned today, my good friend taught me something I never knew. That actually, Lord Shiva appeared in the Ram Leela as Hanuman. So I'm very grateful for you pointing that out. I never heard that before. But then we saw the confirmation. How Lord Shiva expanded as Hanuman Makes sense. Hanuman is the greatest devotee of Lord Ram. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee of Narayan Vishnu. So he composed that Gita Mahatmyam, and in that Gita Mahatmyam, Shankaracharya explains why you don't need to read any other book. Bhagavad Gita is sufficient for God realization. I do a program where I live every month in one home, Indian home. It's a Bhagavad Gita study, and before each class we recite that Gita Mahatmya. And I love that one verse, that all the Upanishads, how many Upanishads?
108.
108. Good. Give him a star. 108 Upanishads. All the Upanishads are like a cow. And this cow is being milked by somebody. Who would be the best milker of a cow? Krishna Govinda. Everybody say,
Krishna Govinda.
Go Krishna Govinda. Again, everybody say,
Krishna Govinda.
there we go. Now I got my audience. So he is milking the cow of this 108 Upanishads. Now, when does a cow give milk? In the presence of what? Calf. In the presence of calf, cow gives milk. Mother gives milk, presence of child. Damodar Leela. Krishna wanted to drink the milk from Mother Yashoda, from her breast. And then the oven overflowed, the milk pan overflowed. So Krishna was interrupted. He became angry. So, who is the calf? If Krishna is the milker, the cow is the Upanishads. Who's the calf? Arjuna. We learn in Bhagavad Gita. What was Arjuna's qualification? Why was Krishna speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, not Duryodhana? Why? He wasn't envious. That's actually in the first verse of this 9th chapter. Very good. Give him a star. Yes. But in chapter 4, Krishna tells Arjuna, you have the 2 qualifications, only qualifications necessary to hear Bhagavad Gita. What are they?
He's a devotee and a friend.
Yes, everybody say, Bhakto Sime,
Bhakto Sime.
Sakha Cheti.
Sakha Cheti.
That's all you need. Doesn't matter Hindu, American, educated, illiterate. Doesn't matter. If you have these 2 qualifications, you can understand Gita. Are you Krishna's devotee? Raise your hand. Or do you want to be Krishna's devotee? Raise your hand. Good. And are you a friend to Krishna? Do you like Krishna? Not like Duryodhana, who invited him and then wanted to capture him and arrest him. What kind of friend is that? Come to my house so I can lock you up. That was Duryodhana. Yes. He's not a friend. That's why Krishna would not eat at his house. Because he was not a devotee. He was not a friend. Where did Krishna decide to eat? Which one? Not the Pandavas. Vidura. Shudra's house. See? That's why I'm saying. Vidura was considered Shudra. That wife, the one who gave birth to Vidura, she was Sudrani, impregnated by Vyasadeva at the request of who? Who? Who was Vyasadev's
Mother.
Yes. Satyavati, yes. On her request. Because he once told her, Mother, you need me for anything, I will come. Even though he's way up in meditation, alone, Mother thinks of him, calls for him. What a good son. Will you be like that? Whenever your mother needs you? Where's your mother? I wanted to hear that. I wanted to testify. So, Arjuna is the calf. And what is the milk? All the 108 Upanishads comes out as what? Bhagavad Gita. Excellent. So that's why Shankaracharya is saying, all the Upanishads are there. That's why another name for Bhagavad Gita, Gita Upanishad. The Gita Upanishad becomes Gita Upanishad. One book, sufficient. And I've said many times over the years, the basis of all preaching, Bhagavad Gita. If you see Prabhupada in his purports in the Bhagavatam, so many times he's quoting Bhagavad Gita. When Prabhupada is giving lecture, so many times he's quoting Bhagavad Gita. Of course, he loves Brahma Samhita also. But the foundation of everything, Bhagavad Gita. So we should learn this Bhagavad Gita. You were telling me, my godbrother, Jayadvaita Swami, constantly reciting verse, right? He said even while he's asleep, you heard him when he stayed at your house. In the middle of the night, you hear verses of Bhagavad Gita. So we should know this Bhagavad Gita like we know our cell phone number. We should know Bhagavad Gita. And therefore this verse is so nice. It's a synopsis of what is Bhagavad Gita. Let's see how you're good on Sanskrit. Are you ready?
Yes.
Sit properly. Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam, Pavitram, Idam Uttamam, Pratyakshavagam, Dharmyam, Susukam, Kartum Avyayam. Now let's see. Raja Vidya Rajaguyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam, Pratyakshavagam Dharmyam, Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Let's do it one more time. Raja Vidya Rajaguhyam, Pavitram Idam Uttamam, Pratyakshavagam Dharmyam, Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Very good. Very good chanting. That proves this is the advanced class. No, it's true. It's true. So let's take a look. Each of these words full of meaning. Many, many years ago I read one Prabhupada letter. And in that letter he was telling his disciple that just looking at the synonyms, so much is there to speak about. So I've been doing that now for about 10 years. And it's proven to be very, very successful for me. Please repeat. Rajavidya, the king of education.
The king of education.
So this is the first point. This Bhagavad Gita, this science of Krishna consciousness, is the king of education. You're all going to go to college, university. You're going to hear many things. That's all right. Don't forget this one. No matter what they tell you in the university, because you're going to hear lots of nonsense things, always remember this. Radya Vidya, Bhagavad Gita is the king of education. Always remember that. Never forget it. Prahlad Maharaj was questioned by his father. Prahlad? Yes, Father. What did you learn in school today? My dear Father, I have not learned anything in that school. The best thing I know, I learned from my spiritual master when I was in the womb of my mother. And what did I learn? Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archana Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atman Nivedanam. My dear Father, these 9 processes, Navalakshana, is Tanmanye Ditam Uttamam, is the topmost knowledge. That's what Bhagavad Gita is teaching. Devotional service to Krishna. You may doubt me, but I've gone through this Gita many times. It never changes. Krishna was asked, you want to see me? Bhakti, devotional service. You want to know me? Bhakti, devotional service. You want to come to me? Bhakti, no other way. Haranama eva kevalam. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. So this Bhagavad, so Prahlad said, this is the topmost education, if you're asking me, is these 9 processes of pure devotional service. You're doing it right now, hearing the message of Krishna. You are blessed right now. Because you're here, in front of Krishna, you're getting maximum Ashirvad. Right now, Krishna in your heart is so pleased with all of you. We learn this in the Bhagavatam. Hridyantakstohi abhadrani vidhunoti suhrit satam. Because you're hearing about Krishna, Krishna in your heart is removing material desires, cleansing your heart. When you're free from material desires, relief. Relief. Sometimes we eat too hot, spicy food, sometimes. Not here, but sometimes. It's too hot. I know one person, when she makes a sabji, she puts 108 chilies. Yikes! Of course, she's cooking for the temple, but still, she brags. I don't use anything less than 108 chilies. So sometimes, so you need relief. So we need relief from materialistic existence. Hearing about Krishna is the relief. So first point, please never forget, the topmost education is this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness. Next word, Rajaguyam, the king of confidential knowledge. So when something is confidential, that means it's very special. Now we shouldn't misunderstand. It's confidential, but at the same time, it's available to anyone, provided they have those 2 qualifications. What were they?
Be a devotee.
Be a devotee?
Be a friend.
Of who?
Krishna.
Yes. Not that I'm a devotee of whatever. Yeah, I have to be devotee of Krishna and friend of Krishna. That needs to be. Because somebody may say, oh, I have a friend. Right? No, not your friend. We're talking about Krishna. So this knowledge is confidential, as I explained. There's confidential, more confidential, most confidential. So this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness, king of confidence, the most confidential, because it's talking about God. The 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Ishakata, the science of God. I love that word, science of God. When you go to university, did you say you wanted to be a doctor?
No.
Who wants to be somebody wants to be a doctor? I guess one of the kids recently, one of the kids said, maybe it was a girl, she wants to be a doctor. So if she wants to be a doctor, she's going to have to learn so many sciences. That's all right. If she was here, I would say that's okay. But you must know the topmost science, Krishna consciousness, Bhagavad Gita. That science we must also learn. So it's the most confidential because it's talking about God and the exchange of love between the devotees. Next word, pavitram,
Pavitram.
purest. Yes. Materialistic knowledge is impure. It has 4 inherent defects, materialistic knowledge. I don't say you say this to your professors in school, but you should know that whatever they're teaching you has inherently 4 defects. It was composed by somebody themselves who is imperfect, who has senses, limited, imperfect senses. It's like, without my glasses, my eyes are imperfect. I need the glasses. Oh, now I can see. Some people, when they get older, they need the thing for the ear. They have this little thing, right? Because it's hard for them to hear. So our senses are so limited. Dogs can hear frequencies we can't hear. We have limited sense perception. So how can someone with limited sense perception give pure knowledge? You need yourself to be pure. That's why Gita, spoken by the most pure. Who's that? Krishna, God. Or Bhagavatams, written by Vyasadeva, also the most pure incarnation of Krishna. Spoken by Shukadeva. He was speaking to Maharaj Parikshit. He was recognized at that time as the topmost sadhu. Because Parikshit sat down and he asked everybody in the audience. There were rishis and kings and so many saints from all over the universe came at the time of Maharaj Parikshit giving up his body. So he asked them, I want to hear the science of God. And then Shukadeva arrived. Everybody stood up and they said, yes, he will answer your questions. They all recognized the son of Vyasa. That's Shukadeva. So he spoke it. So Bhagavatam is pure. This knowledge is pure because it doesn't have defects. There's no cheating in this Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. There's no cheating. The truth is presented as it is with no ulterior motive. It's pure. There's no defect. There's no mistake. Okay. Next word. Idam uttamam.
Idam uttamam.
So uttamam. Uttama. Beyond the darkness. This material world, if it wasn't for the sun, it would be completely dark. So Krishna provided a light bulb, the sun. It never goes out. Our light bulbs go out. Our smoke alarms, right? The battery goes out. Click, click all day long. Doesn't that drive you nuts? Like, I've gone to some houses and I've gone once and the thing is clicking. I go back a month later because after a while you get immune to it. I go back a month later. That thing is still, I say, please get a battery. So, beyond the darkness, uttama, or another way to explain, transcendental, or topmost, uttama. There's a name for Krishna, please repeat. Uttama shloka.
Uttama shloka.
Meaning that in describing Krishna, the saints and sages and devotees use very select words. In the mundane world, when you want to go for an interview, you have to write your resume. So you choose your words very, very carefully so that you get the job. You don't just write, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. No. You go over and over. My wife did that some years ago. She lost her job, so she had to write so many resumes, and she went over it 100 times, making sure that every word was just right. Still, she didn't get the job, but that's another story. Because even she knew, the only way I'm going to get a job is when Krishna gives me mercy. It took some months. She got it. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Krishna. But we had to wait some months. We were nervous. So, Uttama Shloka means only very choice, select words are used in this Gita, in this Bhagavatam, to describe this Krishna consciousness. Uttama, transcendental, not material. If something is the purest, that means the ultimate purity, then it also has to be transcendental. Because nothing in the material world is pure. The food we offer to Krishna, it's not pure. But once it is offered, and what's the key ingredient?
Love.
What's that?
Love.
Love, yes. Love. That's the key ingredient. That's what Krishna relishes. Again, Duryodhana made a fantastic feast. First class. But Krishna would not touch even one little grain. He ate the simple rice and dal from Vidura. Why? Bhakti, love was there. So, something is pure, yes, once it's offered to Krishna. That's what makes prasadam different. It's transcendental, pure, because it was when the cooking process was going on, the devotee was thinking of Krishna. And then it's offered. The prayers are recited. And when the prayers are recited, Krishna glances at the food. That glance is the same as him eating. He accepts it. He puts it back. But now, according to Lord Chaitanya, there's now another ingredient in the food. Who knows the secret? Once it's offered to Krishna and he accepts it, what makes it prasadam? What makes it? Nobody knows?
Mercy.
Of course, but there's something in the food. Not that, of course, the tulsi. You guys think you're smart. Yes, of tulsi. But when you eat, what happens when you eat food? Something gets mixed. What? Saliva. So according to Lord Chaitanya, when we offered food to Krishna, Krishna's saliva is now in the prasad. You didn't know that, did you? It's right there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Chaitanya asked his associates, you've all had these items, yogurt and mishri, but why does this taste so special? So they all gave their answers. Lord Chaitanya said, no, it is mixed with Krishna's saliva. That's what makes prasadam so special. It's now the most sacred. Okay. Now my favorite word in this whole verse. Now maybe my second favorite. My second favorite. Please repeat. Pratyaksha avagamam. This is what separates Krishna consciousness from everything else. You get direct experience. Direct experience. It's not that you have to wait after you die. You get the experience. No. You get direct experience. I know from the first time I had Mahaprasad, I had a direct experience. Give me more. Give me more. Because they only gave me a little bit. They only gave me a little bit of shock. And I hate shock. But this shock, oh, it was the best food I ever ate in my life. I jumped up. Give me more. They said, you got to come back tomorrow. That's why I came to the temple. I wanted the food. It was so good. When you chant Hare Krishna, I've been chanting Hare Krishna mantra every day since 1973. Now trust me, I'm not the kind of person who's going to spend 2-3 hours every day and not get some result. No. I get a result from chanting. I see you always chanting on your beads when I come here. So you must have some taste of the Maha Mantra. Yes, direct experience. When I go out to do preaching, I get direct confirmation and experience of how Krishna empowers me and how the words of Krishna can affect someone. So every aspect of this Krishna consciousness, you can get a direct experience, not a post-dated check. Say you're selling your house. So somebody comes, I'll buy your house, but you can only cash the check in 10 years. You're going to sell your house to that person? No. No post-dated check. So Krishna consciousness is not a post-dated check. Immediate cash withdrawal. Bang. It's right there. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yes. Direct experience. Kirtan. You like kirtan, right? In kirtan, you get a direct experience. You dance. You become happy. Just like this nice... What's your name? Balaram?
Balaram Shakti.
Balaram Shakti. I got a direct experience when you read that Krishna book chapter, because you read it with such devotion. I had immediately, as soon as you started, I said, oh, this devotee has some love for Krishna. Yes, direct experience. Next word, dharmyam. The principle of religion. So, Krishna will explain the principle of religion at the end. Sarvadharman parityaja mame sharanam vraja. Keep going. He knows his Gita. Very good. I have a friend in Los Angeles, Kamlesh Patel. And he attended so many of my programs. Every program he told me, Prabhu, you have to mention Bhagavad Gita 1866. So I gave him a nickname. Your name is Bhagavad Gita 1866. And especially if he comes to my program, I make sure I chant that verse. Because otherwise he's going to be on my case. Prabhu, you did not mention Bhagavad Gita 1860. But he's right. Because that is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Surrender. Give up all what you think you should be doing. Just surrender to me. Then someone's going to say, why? Why should I? Here's why. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha yashyami. I will protect you. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Therefore, Krishna says, please repeat, Ma shucha. Don't worry. Don't hesitate. Don't fear. There was a song long time ago. Don't worry, be happy. So I changed it. Don't worry, chant Krishna. Not this time, but next time I come, I'll sing that song. I have a whole bunch of words. Yes. So, Krishna will deliver you. So the principle, now, if you were to ask Lord Chaitanya, what is the principle of religion? He'll say, the principle of religion is love of God. Just like you should love your wife or husband. Should. Yes? No? Somebody better say yes. Okay.
It's hard to say that.
Huh?
It's very hard to say.
What? Don't expose yourself. Is your wife here?
No, that's not.
Look, you better be careful. Everybody's got a cell phone. He said. So, you love your children, yes?
Yes.
Yes, you spend so much time and money. You worry about them. right? From the moment before they're born, you're worried. Then after they're born, what is it? More money, right? Having a child is expensive, right? But you do it. Why? Because you love them. My wife, my daughter is now 44 years old. But still, daughter calls, she'll tell me, I have to go now. But what about me? That's all right. That love never ends. It never ends. So, Lord Chaitanya says, so we have some understanding of love. My favorite song. All you need is love. But I didn't know who to love. That was my problem. That was my problem. But then Prabhupada taught me, love Krishna. That changed everything. Love Krishna. So that's the principle of religion. Surrender is the beginning. If you don't surrender, there can't be love. But once you surrender, then the love will manifest. And Lord Chaitanya teaches that love is already there in your heart. It's already there. It just has to be awakened. It just has to be ignited. In a match is the potency for fire. You have to strike the match, then you get the fire. So in the same way, love of God is in everyone's heart. It just has to be struck. And that is what the Association of Devotees does. That's what the chanting does. All the different items of Krishna consciousness strikes that match. Does it get cold here? Like I'm from the East Coast, so in the winter sometimes the car didn't start. Sometimes you need somebody to come with the cables and what do you call it? Jump start. Yes. Sometimes. So that's what this process is. That's what ISKCON is doing. Jump starting everyone's love of God in their heart. That's our job with others. You are the guy with the cables. I'm going to help jump start your car. I'm going to jump start your love of God. Keep that in mind. That's your mentality. You're simply there to jumpstart other people's spiritual life. Because he was asking me about preaching yesterday. Right? So now you have another clue. We have the cables. Just have to connect it. Okay, now comes my favorite. Susukam. Not sukam. Sukam means happiness. This is susukam. Topmost happiness. Maha happiness. The ultimate happiness. Susukam. That is this Krishna consciousness. Everything about this movement is happy, happy, happy. Because I'm happy. Yes. That's how you become happy, happy. This Bhagavad Gita, this Krishna consciousness. The chanting, the dancing, the arti, the class, and of course, prasad. The prasad. Yes. Susukam. It is joyfully performed. Lord Chaitanya Nityananda Kevala Ananda Kanda. Their process is simply joyful, full of bliss. Kevala Ananda Kanda. Why? Because all of the aspects are another definition of Susukam. Easy. Right? Say you have to I once went to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. So they have this huge, huge building. So they have an elevator that goes very fast. You get to the top, and then from the top, you can see miles around. There's one temple of Kartikeya, Skanda, and they have a huge 50-foot statue, golden statue of Skanda, and you can see it from this tower. Now, who's going to walk up? I'm not going to walk up all those hundreds of flights. Take the elevator. You get there in a few seconds. Boom. So, easy process. Lord Chaitanya's process is simply joyful, simply easy. What are the qualifications? Do you have ears? Do you have a tongue? You can do it. Can you chant? Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you take prasad? Yes. Then you can join. Easy. Very easy. So it's very happy, very joyful. Cartoon, to execute. Very easy to do this. And then the last word, please repeat. Avyayam.
Avyayam.
Everlasting.
Everlasting.
That means it's eternal. Prabhupada used to explain, all of you have a spiritual bank account. Then the government can't touch it. Don't worry. Sometimes we worry about our 401k, right? We worry about, we're watching the stock market. Ooh, oh, right? We freak out. Not me. Well, yeah, my wife has 401k, so yes, but I don't know anything about it. Anyway, we're worried sometimes, investments. Because the government, especially this crazy guy, he can one day say, I'm taking everybody's 401k and building my wall. You watch. You watch. Nothing is out of bounds. So, but this account, your spiritual account, nobody can touch it. And your name is written on the account. Prabhupada used to tell us, even these little children, if they clap in the kirtan, it's being recorded. You came to the class today, it was recorded. Oh. So, and now, in your investments, you want them to grow, right? But because of the stock market, but this account always grows. And no matter what happens, it's always there. So say in this lifetime, you achieve 60% perfection. In your next life, you start off 61. Not bad. I'll take that investment. All of us came with a certain account already. We see some people, they, right from the start, they are advanced. These children, I look at them, I go, wow, your account must be unbelievable. How nicely you have begun. Don't blow it. That's why Lord Chaitanya says, always remain meek and humble. Because although you can't lose your account, your funds can be frozen. And how do you freeze your account? By committing offenses. So therefore, Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vivasanubhya evascha
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo.
We don't want to commit offenses to Krishna, and we don't want to commit offenses to devotees. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya says, wear around your neck for constant remembrance, I am simply the insignificant servant of Krishna. Simply, that's all. So, this account, this bhakti account, is everlasting, and it will increase. Sometimes people ask, my father used to always ask when we would go see him, my wife and I, why are you always chanting? What, saying the same things over? I would say, because I want to add to my account. Who doesn't want to add to your account? Everybody does. That's human. Nothing wrong with that. Yes. Make as much money as you like. Just make sure you give some to Krishna. Right, my friend? We need their temple. Do we want this temple to expand and grow? Yes or no?
Yes.
Therefore, we have to donate as much as we can. That's one of our functions. We need to make this better. I thought, when I first came to this on Janmashtami, I said, they got this house already, it's too small. So we need bigger place. Because don't we want more people to join us? Or do we want to keep it a small little group? What do you want? Yes. When there's a party, the more the merrier, we say. So that's not going to happen unless we cooperate. Ooh, that's a hard word. Yes, Prabhu, cooperate with me. It's a hard thing, cooperate. In a family, there has to be cooperation. So that's one way the temple will increase cooperation. Sacrifice, giving. You give your money to Krishna. You give your intelligence. If you have a brain, good brain, use your intelligence. How to increase. Or like me, I don't have a brain. I definitely don't have wealth, but I got a mouth. One astrologer told my wife, your husband, he's one big mouth. All his planets are in his mouth. And it's been proven. Because what do? I talk about Krishna and I eat for Krishna. But I have to eat. This is what Krishna has given me. He's given me, I don't even need a microphone, right? Although I like it. I like to hear myself. But I did a lecture in Laguna Beach, no microphone. So that's all right. Everybody heard me, and the room was twice as big as this. So as Krishna has given me that, but I have to use it for Krishna. It's like I like to play guitar. I used to play guitar when I was a hippie. But I can't sing those songs. I have to sing about who? Krishna. Yes. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So how much longer? When do you want Arti? 10 minutes? Okay, the Pujari has spoken. 10 minutes. Okay, so what we'll do to satisfy your desire, we'll do a little quiz. I know that, see, he's fired up. Now he's fired up. In the lecture, it was like, now he's fired up. Okay, are you ready? All right, now the way we'll do this, if you know the answer, just say it, okay? Until we hear the right answer. All right, so here it is. I'll ask questions from Gita, Bhagavatam, Lord Chaitanya, and Mahabharata. We did Ramayan this morning at breakfast, so I ran out of my Ramayan questions. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Sit properly. Okay, so who was the Pandava who loved to eat?
Beef.
All right, very good. Who was the Pandava who was so moral, so strict? Who? Yudhishthira. Who was the Pandava? Although Draupadi was married to all 5 Pandavas, who was the one that was her favorite? Arjuna. Okay. Now let's see. And which of the Pandavas were twins?
Nakul Sridhar.
Very good. See? I told you you were at the advanced class. All right, now we'll ask a little more higher level questions. I get my fun. All right, so here we go. I'm stumped. Everybody chant the Maha Mantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
All right, from Bhagavatam. Narada Muni, I said, or maybe I didn't say. Who was Prahlad Maharaj's guru? But now, Narada also had another 5-year-old disciple. Ooh. Okay. How long did it take Dhruva to see Prishni Garba, or Krishna?
6 months.
You knew that? Very good. All right. Maybe I'll use my... Hold on. Everybody chant japa.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
Okay, we're ready to go. Now, Narada had another disciple who was actually very cruel, and he was a hunter. What was his name? Wow. Wow. Somebody has taught here very nicely. Okay, now let's go on further with Mrigari. Mrigari, enemy of animals. So, when Narada was preaching to Mrigari, he didn't tell him to stop killing right away. What was the first instruction Narada gave the hunter? I've stumped you.
Don't make them die over time. If you want to kill them instantly.
Exactly. Very good. Yes. Because what was Mrigari? He was half killing them and enjoying seeing them suffer. So Narada said, that's worse, making them suffer like that. So Mrigari, and then Narada showed him, see all these animals after death? They're going to come and get you. And Mrigari freaked out. What? What was the excuse Mrigari gave why he was doing it? What's that?
His father taught him.
Yes. He learned by disciplic succession. Yes. He said, this is what I was taught by my father. But ignorance is no excuse. So, then Mrigari decided, no, I want to become your disciple. I don't want to go to hell. No. So, what did Narada tell him to do next? Very important.
Chant.
No. Told him to do something.
Give up everything. Stop killing.
Yes, break the bow. Because Mrigari was thinking, if I break my bow, how am I going to eat? What did Narada say?
I will make the arrangement.
Yes. The Guru said, don't worry, I'll take care of it for you. So you can see how much faith Mrigari had in Narada. And that also shows how potent is Narada that he's able to get a hunter to stop being a hunter. So yes, break the bow. Now, Prabhupada explains that breaking the bow is also for us. How do we break the bow?
Bondage.
Huh?
Break our bondages. I mean, like.
But how? We have to do something. We also break a bow. What is it?
By chanting.
Not chanting. No, we break a bow. What is it? When we take initiation, what do? Yes, we chant, but we also do something else.
We break the cycle of the birth and death.
How? Something is done.
Taking shelter.
Break the sticks to put in the
What?
fire. We break the sticks to put in the fire.
Okay, maybe I'm not explaining it right. Okay, huh?
We take the vows to,
What vows?
to chanting Hare Krishna.
For years.
Ah,
Regularly.
thank you. That's how we break the bow. We give up eating what?
Meat.
Just meat?
Onions,
Onions and garlic. Yeah, I like that. Wait a minute. Onions and garlic is not mentioned, but I'll accept it. No, meat, fish, eggs, right? What else do we do? No more what? Yes. No more cerveza. Okay. What else do we do? No more what? Gambling. No more Las Vegas. Or lost wages. Yes. What else? Huh? Hey, what's the joke? I didn't get it.
Just got the joke, the last wages.
Oh, okay. Well, you're missing the fourth one. No illicit sex. Yes, you get married, have nice children. Unless you're gonna take sannyas? Is that what you're? I'm not telling you. I thought I got some impression that you're gonna become Maharaj. No, it's up to you.
Yeah.
I thought I would be a sannyasi. That's what I was thinking, but Krishna said, "You? No." Okay, so that's how we break the bow. We follow those four regulative principles. So after Narada left, Mrigari became something happened. Okay. All right. So after Mrigari left, after Narada left, what happened to Mrigari and his food? What happened? Remember, Narada said, I will take care of you. So what happened to Mrigari? How was he eating?
Villagers brought food.
Was that?
Villagers.
The villagers. And how much were they bringing? Too much. Because when Narada came back with his friend Parvat, Mrigari said, Gurudev, you're giving me too much food. Don't send so much. Just see, the mercy of God and Guru is way beyond our capacity. Now, Mrigari did something that impressed Parvat Muni, and he was amazed. What did Mrigari do when Narada and Parvat Muni arrived? What did Mrigari do? Yes.
Walking and moving the ants.
Before paying obeisances, he made sure there were no ants that he was crushing. And Parvat Muni said, whoa, look at this. This guy used to half kill animals, and now he doesn't even want to harm an ant. Narada, you are a sparshamani. You are a touchstone. You were so we compare Prabhupada like that he was able to convert malachas and yavanas and make them dancing white elephants. That's what the Indian people called us when Prabhupada arrived in India with his big white Western disciples, and they were jumping and dancing, and people said, "Whoa, white elephants have arrived." All right, one more question?
Yes.
Okay, if you don't get this question, then I don't know what to say. I want to hear everybody give the answer. Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Krishna!
You all get A on your exam. All right, let's have RT. Huh? What? There's another answer? Oh. Okay, all rise and let's worship the Supreme personality of Godhead.